Yeah. It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Tuesday night live streams on the Emceemur show. And tonight, we have some interesting things to talk about, kind of in response to the incredible response that we got to our, I don't want to call it speculation, because I think we all know what I was saying is really going to happen. But our talk about Crash Team Racing coming up here in June. And you can even ask, why are we not talking Sonic Racing? That happens a whole month before. Maybe. We'll see. If anything, there may be more to talk about there, honestly. But this was the first nut that I was ready to crack. So we are looking at this one. And we are going to cover Sonic as well. We've got to actually take a look back at Sonic Racing Transformed in a collaborative live stream that we still have plans to do with Dat Game Collector and my homeboy Captain Retro, because that's going to happen. Hi guys, so glad that you're here. We are joined by the Ice Pirate. We are joined by the artist formerly known as Mainly Gaming, now known as Corey O. And yeah, that's just basically where we're at, man. All kind of action going down. We're going to talk about in this episode why I'm going to go digital on this game. And you know, we've been talking a lot about why, you know, oh my god, everything's going all digital, and we're putting the nail in the coffin here as far as, you know, switching all the way over to games as a service, and how most of us as collectors, we're just not going to go quietly. But in some instances, it's okay, and I think this is one of those. Now, while you can see this as a smelly attempt to try to push digital on us, in that they've made this a digital exclusive, and Top Spot, I'm glad you're here, and I know you can't stay long, we're going to get right into the racing so you can see that, and I'll keep blabbering while we roll. But the Nitrous Oxide version is a digital deluxe version, and it's exclusive to that format, so holy crap. We're just going to go on the adventure here, because while I've messed around with this game, I've never really done all this. So we're gonna stay with Team Crash. We're going to do it. So we're going to talk about what all you get with this Nitrous Oxide bundle. And while it is just cosmetics, and it's like, you know, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not going to pay extra for that. Probably most people's attitudes on it. There's more reasons than just those extras that I'm going to go that route, and that maybe you want to think about. MERS? God, I'm so not used to old gen controllers now. Okay. Okay. Check the memory card. Here we go. Save your game. Here's where it says we don't have room to save it. So it includes, of course, the full game. It includes Nitrous Oxide as a playable character, the character skin, Oxide's hovercraft, playable kart, Star Crash, Crash character skin, Star Coco, Coco character skin, Star Cortex, Neo Cortex character skin, and additional digital content to be announced later. So in that tells me that we are looking at almost like a season pass sort of scenario here, and for only 20 bucks extra, that's not bad to lock in place. And it's important to realize that this game is almost calling itself a budget title, coming out at the low introductory price of only $39.99. So it's only going to be $59.99 to get the full deal digitally. And again, we're going to get to why that's also important for me and maybe for others as well. Top Spot says a few of the tracks in this game have an anti-gravity gimmick way before MK8. Amazing point to make. And that was one of the heaviest things that hit me hard when I started taking a look back at this, forgetting that that was even a thing. They make you forget. I mean, they want the way they coined that in Mario Kart 8 was almost like they invented that. And I'm sorry, it's right here. And you know, I'm the first one to back Nintendo's plays, but I'm sorry, it's right here. You know, you can think maybe this is not a kart racer that's going to be up to snuff, that maybe it's inferior, if you want to use that word. I don't know that it will be. I can understand why there may be concerns for that, given the price point, given that it's a remake. I realize we're playing Crash Nitro Kart right now. My copy of CTR isn't working, but that's what I get for buying it at a flea market. I've sanded it till you can almost see through it, but I'll pick up another copy of that. We'll do another stream on that one too before we actually go live with the main deal, because we're going to be taking a look at all Crash kart racers from back in the day. Oh my god, I've unlocked a cutscene. I don't know how to handle myself. Anyway. Yes, okay, just go. And let's play. a nerf version. And is it though? Because, you know, yeah, you're not getting cosmetic stuff, but then if you're not getting actual like season pass content later, what if they spring on some tracks that they want you to buy later on? This is Activision we're talking about here, so let's don't forget who's publishing this thing. That's a great point. That's the kind of stuff we got to think about. That's why I think it's a good deal. You're talking $59.99. That's not a big push forward when you think about it. It's really not. We pay $59.99 for AAA titles all the time, and you can argue that's not what this is. But isn't it? Because while it is a remake, that doesn't mean it has to be lower price. I mean, I'm glad that it is, but I don't mind paying the $60 if that puts the season pass, so to speak, into it, which is basically the business format they're going for here. Kane Deathbreaker is doing his book with KDB as well as Nostalgia. So glad to have both of you guys in on this thing, because we know that you guys have got Emceemur's back and you are part of Mur Nation. Going to Inferno Island. But yeah, we talked a little bit about what you're getting with this and why it's cool. A beginner? Am I a beginner? No, I'm not a beginner. I'm intermediate. But that's not the only reason. You know, this is digital. Great! It's digital. We're going to get some stuff. You got to think about this. This is going to have online multiplayer. Our initial concern with the video prior to this was that the Switch would have it, because I said it would, but is this getting ported over by someone else? The Beanox logo is not on it. Yeah, okay, I may be barking up the wrong tree there, but I'm sorry, it's a thing. It's there. I had to call them on it. Got to ask questions, right? Because the main thing is, will the online be compromised? We just did a review for RBI Baseball 19, and while I was having trouble getting the online going on PS4, never did get it going, as a matter of fact, it is there. On the Switch, they just don't have it. It's not even a thing. Again, the Switch has continuously let us down in the realm of online multiplayer. You got to ask, how smooth of an experience, if even an experience, can we expect for this game? Let me get my bearings here and start rolling, then we'll keep blabbing. Ice, you're not a kart racer fan? I'm surprised. I love kart racing. Absolutely love it. And again, you can argue, why aren't we talking about Sonic right now? Because that's coming before this. But we are going to talk about that. In fact, I'm more pumped for that than this. Sega first. But I'm not pumped for this. And that was the realization that I had as I looked more and more at this. I was like, dude, this is a kart racer. And while you're not a big Crash head, you are a big kart racer head. And this may be quality software coming our way, but it's important that we do it on the right platform. So again, we have a deluxe digital version exclusive to the PS4. The price point is not beyond $60. Normally when we get into something like that, you're looking at a price point of around $69.99, sometimes as high as $80. We're not looking at that. We're looking at $60. So the most important thing for me now as a YouTuber, and I'll tell you why this is good for others too, but we're going to be playing this at midnight. When this goes live, we're going to have a live stream going. I hope all of you are going to be here for it. I'm sure most of you will be. It's going to be really exciting. And, oh, yeah, I forgot about the Sonic Kart Racers, Nostalgia says. They're not really saying that much about it. And is there really, here's the big question, is there that much to say? Again, I'm trying something different tonight. I know we talk about a lot of in-depth stuff on these live streams, but this is the first time I've actually tried to do an actual Murcast while playing the game and trying to spit some knowledge out there, because this is stuff that I want to bounce off of you guys. This is stuff that I want to talk about, stuff that is imminent, about a game that I think everybody's going to be genuinely interested in. I don't think most of us can afford the risk of sacrificing amenities to do it on the Switch, though, for the sake of having portability, which, let's face it, isn't really that important when you get right down to it. Team up. I'd love to team up. But the race is over. Okay, so the Sonic Kart Racer, you know, again, Sega Racing was Sega Racing. This is just Sonic. And I really don't think this is one of those scenarios where less is more. But the reason I'm not really ready to talk about that tonight is A, we're looking at Crash, and B, there's more research I got to do into this, because I got to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what we're getting there. But I have to almost assume that the superior product already exists, and it's a Wii U game. I'm surprised they never ported that over to the dadgum Switch, and watch, they still might. Yeah, never seen anyone playing the Switch in I've seen one person doing it, and it was me. And people were looking at me like I had 3 heads, because it had just come out, we were in Disney World, and people were like, what is this guy doing, you know? I don't know. And I didn't have much time to fool with it. You know, you're on the run. You're on the go. Hey, ride's over. We got to keep moving. You know, they're riding rides. I'm playing my Switch, and I'm having what I want done. Top Spot says, Team Sonic Racing makes me nervous with the development issue. It's very delayed. Little shown. Who knows this? Yeah, see, that's it. I mean, you telling me that this is... I mean, this is what it is, but...
If you hop off of
no Golden Axe, no Shinobi, no Afterburner. Sonic wasn't necessarily what made that game so great. It was the totality, the whole of the Sega going on there. It was really awesome. Now I'm exploring here. I've never played this adventure mode. I've probably had 100 copies of this game come through and resold it over time. Never spent more time than maybe just a race or two. I guess I gotta qualify to get into these.
You must have enough
Yep,
trophies.
they're pulling the old Mario 3D land on us here. We got to get more thingamabobbers to get in. That's cool. We'll go in right here.
You do not have enough keys.
Oh, I need a key to get in that. I'm sorry. I thought I had a... Okay, backing it up. Boop, boop. And couldn't Sonic technically outrun all the racers? You know, there were different versions of each, you know, to where you could look at the stats and everybody would have, you know, something to make up for something else that they were light on or whatever. Oh, we're going to go on Jungle Boogie. Nick, what's up, buddy? Great to have you in the stream tonight. Again, we're talking about CTR and this nitrous oxide deal. So again, circling back, I'm getting off topic there, but being able to play it at midnight is important for me because I want to be able to bring you the live stream as soon as this stuff goes live. But a lot of you, if you want to get in on the multiplayer, if you want to really start jamming on this thing and really get an idea of what it's going to do, I mean, why wouldn't you? Another reason to have that done. You can preload it. You can be playing at midnight. And that's something, that's a commitment that I'm bringing to you. We may still look at a Switch edition later on, depending on what gets said about it. But right now, we're definitely going for this PS4 digital deal because I think it's the best deal, fiscally speaking, fiscally responsible. And it's going to allow us to make sure that we're playing as early as we can. And I love the idea of a Season Pass feature on there, even though they're not calling it that. Because honestly, Season Pass is a wordy dird. That's become a bad word. Activision's not completely out of their minds. They know what to do to at least make this sound like we're getting a deal. So, yeah. But it is. You know, if we don't know if there's other content to be named later, that may be the single most interesting thing out of what they've listed, out of the extras that you get. Oh, I like that view. A missile. Because we don't know what they're going to be adding. I mean, and one could argue, well, what if they don't add anything? But, I mean, it's Activision. They're all about adding things. God, look what Call of Duty does. So, there's going to be other things, and I'm interested to see what those things are. Should have just held on to that. Don't you dare buy another... You're right. You're right. I promise. No more multiplats on Switch. I mean, because even if it is good, who cares? How much? It's not going to be better. I guess I was thinking just in a sense that we could at least review it. But, you know, if there is something inherently wrong with it, we want it anyway, do we? Either way, you know you can't miss. I mean, some would argue that it's got to be Sony anyway when we're doing a Crash game, right? And no, it doesn't necessarily. Maybe it should. Maybe that's right. But I just think this digital nitrous oxide deal is the way to go. And it's the way I'm going. I'm going to get that pre-ordered and we're going to be ready to go the night of. We're going to be jamming midnight. Yeah, Princess Guide. I'm going to tell you what. This is a PS2 Top Spot, and we've upscaled it a little bit with a component cable and looks a little better than it normally does, I guess. And we won the race. Princess Guide is amazing. If any of y'all didn't go watch my Princess Guide review, and really hardly anybody did, you know, if you're not into JRPGs, maybe you're not into it, but I'm telling you, if you even like RPGs, check it out. It's going to be a great game, and it's not out yet. You got time to pre-order, get in on some nice extras. NIS America Store's got, you know, collector's editions of everything coming out from their showcase. So that's a game we're really excited to look at. Look, how many of us are playing Crash Racing? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I jumped on this thing, and again, we had a lot of response to the first one. It was kind of just a play and talk, Murcast, if you will. But since then, I've seen that digital edition, and I'm like, well, here's yet another way to do this game within the confines of the same console that we've pretty much already decided and locked in on. And although I'm the guy, you're the guy, so many of you guys are the guys, the collectors, the ones that, God, I want this physical. Think about it, it's a budget game though. It's going to come out at 40 bucks. And how much is it honestly going to be worth to have as a trade-in or anything? I mean, I don't think we're losing anything by going digital here, but I think we have everything to gain in the way of that content. If you care that much about it, and honestly I do, because if this game's as good as what I think it's going to be, it'll be nice to know that anything that comes out, it's going to be there downloaded already on your PS4, because it updates constantly, because it's the update station, the minute you get there to take a look at it. Top Spot, look into it. Thank you so much for coming by, man. Great to have you here in the live stream tonight on TNL. So many great things coming your way on the show, including but not limited to this game in June when it launches. We'll be looking at Sonic first, of course, because that is first. We have business on that before it comes out. We're definitely going to be looking at all of the aforementioned, but yeah, lots to do. So he's kind of just got a little hub here he can drive around and do his thing. Well, we already did that one. There was something else we couldn't get into that had... Whoa! Cabot says, I miss my copy of CTR on PS1. I had a collector limited edition one that came in like the 3-pack or whatever. And it looked like poop. And this lady wanted $5 for... Oh, excuse me. She wanted 10. Thank you, Ice, for the link. Thanks for throwing that in there. She wanted 10. I was like, lady, this thing looks like someone boogie boarded down a driveway sideways on it. There is no way I'm paying you $10 for this. She held fast at 10. I was like, nah. Nah. So we ain't even doing that.
You do not have
no, I don't have any keys. So I got her down to 5, and I still got hosed on it. Sanded this thing. There's a little nick in the plastic, and it's a broken disc. So. And that's just the latest copy of it that I've gotten. I've had them, you know, in the past. And okay, so obviously we do not have any business here, I don't think. So we'll just drive back out. Again, I'm kind of blind playing this because I've never played I've only played single player races on here, and I've enjoyed doing so, but never really stuck in a memory card and tried to get something going on this game. So maybe we do it. Maybe we look at all the ones that are in the Crash family, because I think I've missed out on a great series of kart racers here. Even though it's not characters that are like, yeah, you know, I'm not a Crash guy. All right, I know some people are. I couldn't believe how many people were, really, when they did the Insane Trilogy and all that. People were so excited about that and Spyro, and I'm like, really? Because I remember those games coming out. Nobody really gave a crap. A lot of that's just faux hype. Like, oh man, it's going to be awesome. I love that game. Well, maybe you do, and maybe you're just saying that because you want to do videos about it. I don't know. I was there when those games came out. Spyro, all them games, man, you just went around and picked stuff up and nothing happened. And there were 1,000,001 of them like it. And everything tried to be Mario 64, and it just wasn't. And you know why? Because you aren't Mario, my dude. That's the problem. You can't just make that happen. And yeet memory cards, for real. Again, not trying to down those games, because obviously they did what they did. They stuck around. Spyro's definitely carved a little legacy for himself, but Crash Bandicoot was never really good. Just wasn't. It beats a sharp stick in the eye, but it's just not great. Alright, so here's the issue. We have 2 trophies. We need 3. Can we go grind and get another one? I don't know. Maybe that's what we have to do. If so, that seems remarkably tedious, but whatever. We don't have keys. Anyway, we can get an overview of the map here.
This is Sparky, your robotic assistant.
Alright, so these things are in all of these, so I guess we do need... Oh, we didn't do Tiny Temple, it says.
Along in the galaxy circuit. You can...
Yeah, nothing against him, man. It just was horrible camera angles, and you can argue that N64's Mario 64 had that going too, because it did. I mean, it did. But we're talking Mario World versus, oh God, we don't have Mario, so let's make somebody. Because let's face it, that's what it was. Yeah, this, I'm gonna tell you, this handles good. This is a good game. It's quality. I'm sorry I didn't play more of it. Maybe we got to do it advanced to get more stuff, so we'll do that. Uncle Strange is here. Welcome, Unc. Yeah, Spyro was just pick up gems, then go somewhere else and pick up gems. Jersey Devil, Croc, Legend of the Gobos, the list goes on. There were so many of these. I used to call them go anywhere, do anything games, because that was the whole idea of open world at that point. But a lot of these were open worlds without a point. There was just nothing to do. I mean, even at a glance, and I know people love Jak and Daxter, but I admitted to not having any, you know, little to no history with that franchise, and at a glance, that just looked like another one of those games. Ratchet and Clank, too. I know there's more that go on other than just picking stuff up, but I'm sorry, you start the game and you're running around picking stuff up. So I was like, oh my God, here we go again. It's no wonder to me why I didn't really get into any of those, because I was doing RPGs, JRPGs, Grand Theft Auto was really starting to be, you know, what it became. I just had less and less reason to look at anything like that. Well, meanwhile, I absolutely adored Mario 64 because it was what it was. I mean, it had properties that, you know, they appealed to me. But anyway, getting off track. I don't know how many times within an hour I can tell you why I think that the digital deluxe version of this game is the way to go, but I think I've made my point.
Be careful.
And that makes sense to me at that price point. Now we're talking 80 bucks, I would be hesitant. And even then, with the idea of more content down the road, that almost bullies you into it when you think about it. So we can talk about how unscrupulous the business practice itself kind of sounds when you get to it like that. But you know, we're going to see more and more of being forced into digital, or digital deals being made more enticing. And what's funny is we only ever see that at launch. And then after the fact, you've got these games for $19.99 at your local GameStop, and they're still 60 bucks on the stores. And it's like, why do we do that? Why are we doing that? You make 100% on that digital. There's no reason that shouldn't match the going rate, especially when that $19.99 is a publisher sale in a store like GameStop. It's not them that goes on sale. That's why their pre-owned games are always more money. So, whoa, I'm reading the chat and I'm getting hung up. Are you going to get to play it? Yes. Nitrous Oxide, that's the deal. You get him and you get playable skins, and you know, whether or not this stuff's all unlockable in game, I don't know. But I guarantee you some of it, at least some of it's got to be hidden behind a paywall. If it's not, it'll seem silly. It'll just seem like a day one boost or whatever, but I really don't think that's what this is. Doesn't mean they won't sell it after the fact either, but we know that's never cost effective either. It's why on this deal with Black Ops 4 when it came out this year, and they were like, oh, well, we're only selling this that comes with the digital pass, and if you buy it vanilla, you pretty much get screwed. And everybody complained about it, but it's like, dude, just get it. You know you're going to buy all the maps. These same people, I mean, some people don't, but that's the same people that complain every year and then still go buy it all, you know, one pack at a time. And you end up with 120 bucks in the dadgum $60 game. Don't do it. Just give them the 99 and shut up. There's a certain amount of wisdom to it if it's already something you know you're going to purchase. So, I know it feels like you're grabbing your ankles at that point, but I don't really feel that way here, again, because we're talking about a game that's $59.99, that after the last Murcast, I pretty much told you I feel like they could charge that for it if they want it, remake or not, because there will be additional stuff to it, you know? There's demakes, there's remakes, and then there's boom, you know? That's all you do in 3D Mario. But Mario just had more substance to it. Yeah, I know he was trying to collect the stars, but you had this whole thing leading up to it. They weren't just laying on the floor and you pick them up and, yay, I won. I mean, you actually had to go through the whole part of that world to locate it and then access it. Spyro is just picking up gems on the ground. Maybe some other stuff happened later. I don't know. Oh my God, don't watch Hoarders. God, I can't. Especially if you're eating. Can't watch that eating. Can't watch The Walking Dead while eating either. We were watching Walking Dead reruns the other night and getting caught back up. And my wife's sitting there eating a tomato, and she about threw up. And I was like, you can't eat a tomato while you watch this. Then they're pulling their faces off, and it's all red and gooey. I get the logic you speak of, Murder. Sometimes all I can afford is the base game. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why that's completely okay. I think you're getting a great game at $39.99 as a game that should be $59.99. The problem with that is that they keep, and I don't even know if we got anything extra in that, but if they keep all that stuff locked behind a paywall, then you look at maybe not ever getting it. And if that's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. But if they're going to actually have extra tracks and stuff later on, if they're going to try for the actual business model that's made Mario Kart 8 continue on and get ported, it's a good deal for that $20 add-on, and it's going to stay that because it's going to stay digital. I mean, maybe eventually we do see a PSN sale on the all digital, but we're talking day one here. But yeah, man, it's enticing to just go vanilla on it too, because I mean, if you do like me, you've got the discounts through the Best Buy plan or whatever. I'm paying $31.99 day one for this game. I don't have to pay $60. But I will pay $60 for the digital because I want the extra content, and again, we want to stream it at midnight. So for me, it makes sense. I know that's kind of crazy, but Nightcore Hitman is here. Welcome, Nightcore. But it's crazy. It doesn't. You want to get in these things as cheap as you can get into them, but I can make sense of paying for the extras in this instance. So we didn't get anything else there, so it's like, what did I miss? Brand new AAA games up here, $90 for the. Oh yeah, see that's brutality there. Well, let's be Coco. Maybe we'll get something with her. I can't wait for next week. I hope by that you mean our day one stream of the Princess Guide, because that's going down. Can't wait to do that. Even if 3 people show up, I'm still doing it because that game is neat. Definitely worth taking a look at. So much stuff coming our way. It's just crazy when you get right down to it. I haven't been using my partner on here, my crash charge up deal. So I don't even know what it does. For years I've just bought these games and I've tested them and resold them. Just never spent time with them. So yeah, is it in these boxes? Is that what we're trying to get? I don't know what makes this beginner in that she doesn't have as much high speed. She's just getting golden apples in her boxes there.
Coming through.
Well, that was not well placed.
Run as fast as you can.
Oh, that didn't get me. Again, we've got some stuff coming up as far as the Sonic Racing 2 that we're going to talk about. We had planned a collaborative live stream a long time ago that we just haven't got to yet. And again, it's going to feature myself, Captain Retro, and Dat Game Collector. We'll be playing the Wii U version, which just feels right. Although Xbox is kind of an option. And, you know, would have had better multiplayer. Not saying we won't still do that, honestly. I should try to pick that up, just for the chat reasons. Although I swear I've talked to somebody on the Wii U one before. DGC says no, but I swear to God I remember doing it. But DGC knows his stuff, so I might be thinking of something else. The thing is the native chat works in some games. And it's just another sense in where it's like, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch. Hello, folks. Guess what? The Wii U was fine, okay? Same deal. Some games had it, some games didn't. People are forgetting we had a fully functional Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the Wii U with chat, and it worked fine. So what's up? Ain't got no Call of Duty on the Switch. Ain't nobody talking about that. So what's up? I'm not even saying I want it. I'm just saying it's not there. But oh, the Wii U sucks. How do you figure, sports fan? What didn't it do that you needed to do? Because it was capable. It's every bit as capable as the Switch of most things. Just is, man. Oh, but this is fully portable. Who cares? I never got past the toilet anyway with my Wii U pad. I didn't need to take it anywhere. I didn't need to take it anywhere. Frenzy, and I fell in a hole.
Better luck next time.
And to be clear, I'm not dogging on the Switch either. I'm just telling you. That's something else. Yeah, I'm all about some Wii U right now. Collecting some games that I just didn't get. And you know what? It is a buyer's market right now. There's so many cheap games that stayed not cheap when Nintendo cared about it. I was going to say, let's switch over to single player and just play some other races, and now there's giant rainbow monkeys coming after me, and now what's going to happen? Something else happening here? I recently picked up Assassin's Creed 3 on it for $5, and like 5 minutes later they announced a reboot for the Switch, and I'm like, what? Are y'all watching me? Is this a troll, or what is this? Yeah, Mario Maker, man. And we're getting a second one. At least they're not just porting the original over, but...
I have heard of this planet. It is a copy of my Terra.
Okay, mister. Back to the race, please. Hopefully he gave me a key. It's a Care Bear cousin. Get ready to stare. Stare there. Coming off the... That was hilarious. Gen X Grown Up is here. Hey, hey, Mur. I just made my SFGE hotel reservations. I can't tell you how excited that makes me. Man, we're going to party like it's on sale for $19.99 at SFGE. Yeah, we've already got our room blocked for the whole weekend, man. We're not leaving. We're camping at the dadgum Marriott. It's going to be awesome. Listen to Cabot, what he's about to say here. Wait till the next Nintendo console comes out. Everyone will talk about how much they love the Switch like everyone is loving the Wii U now. I don't remember anyone loving the Wii U a few years ago. Well, a lot of people aren't loving it now, though. I feel like we are right here. But, man, there's some serious Wii U hate that goes on out there. And there's entire memes dedicated to it. And I just don't understand. That console never upset me. Nintendo might have as a company, but that's just them being them. Doing crazy things that are like, oh my god, you were right there at it, but you didn't. It's like hot and cold with them, and they got the blindfold on. Like, you're getting warmer, you're getting warmer. Oh, they went right by it. They made a Rumble Blast game instead of a Toys to Life Open World Pokemon game. What are you doing? That kind of stuff. The stuff they do where the marketing just doesn't make sense. And look at this dude right now. He's right here. Do we get to go in here? We do. We need Crash for the job. Need to unlock some characters here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not a Nintendo console I didn't enjoy, but people really were bashing Wii U when the Switch came out, like, oh, finally, a good console, you know, and I just didn't get that. I didn't get that whole attitude. I was like, wait a minute, what was this not doing for you? Other than you couldn't take it somewhere, you know? And that's just not that important to me. I mean, it is cool. Again, I love my Switch. I really do. I've enjoyed having it just like I've enjoyed all my consoles. But I was not ready to turn on the Wii U when it came out. And I'm definitely still, regardless of what business sense it makes, ready to give up on my 3DS because I love it. Love it. I'm trying to jump here. Get it off of me. Okay, here we go. There's big spiky boogers on the road. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do about that. First place is on up there. We got to get up there and fire a rocket. But I don't even see him. Nintendo's always played by their own rules, and you know, regardless of how frustrating that gets sometimes in the marketing of what we actually get versus what we actually want, you love them that much more because the uniqueness and originality never fails to shine through. But yeah, I just didn't understand the hate for the Wii U. My Wii U never did anything to me. And as our family console, the Wii we had a lot of fun with, but the Wii U was just a continuation of that adventure, and it was great. I want to get new items because these aren't helping me that much. No, I'm always going to be a Nintendo fan. That's never going to change. But again, the whole theme of my first video I did talking about Crash was my disappointment in I obviously can't buy this game for the Switch for what I'm wanting to use it for, because there's a good chance the online will not work day one, and there's a good chance that it may never, you know, properly. It may not have the right matchmaking. Even if it does get off the ground, it still may not fire on all cylinders. And that's just a reality with it. Nintendo's strength has never been in online multiplayer games. And people can argue that that's different now, but it really isn't. It really isn't. There's so many instances I can show you. And then I don't need to show you. You see it. People that are in denial when they talk about it, where they've fallen short of the mark. But same game, gonna be same price, and there, you know, we've also talked about where games end up getting delayed. So you've got a pre-order in place, and then well, we need another month, and it's gonna be $10 more for a cartridge, and it's like, no. I'm not saying that's gonna happen here because this is an Activision published game. I doubt it's gonna happen, but it's happened to me on a few different games. And yes, Cabot, that's a good point. I didn't get a PlayStation TV yet. Ice tried to get me to buy one the other night for $29, and God, I don't know. Still thinking about it. Alright, so I don't think we got much of anything out of that deal. Or did we? Look at him playing with a yo-yo. Yeet Crash. Crash was just so silly that he was just pretty much almost stupid. No. The old commercials with him yelling at Nintendo headquarters with the megaphone. It's like, alright. You tried.
Also opens all world gates on my planet.
But he's just not, today still, he's not an icon. I mean, he is and he isn't, but he's just, I mean, look at him.
What is this? Gift from your world?
But regardless of who is on this, if this was Popeye and the Burger King kart racing, the mechanics are good, the premise of it is good. I'm a sucker for good kart racers. Online fruit racing I even would have kept, because the physics were there. It played good. There was no online on the Switch. People said there was no problem on PS4, but could not get anything going on the Switch. Then there was talk of a patch or something, and that never came. But they pretty much admitted somewhere, from what I remember reading, that the online wasn't going to work, but there would be an update right afterward to fix that. You want to deal with that with this day one? I don't. That was the whole... And, you know, there are so many thumbs down on that video, and it's like, why don't y'all calm down? I mean, I don't care if that's what you want to leave. Go ahead, but you obviously didn't watch the video, and you obviously aren't getting the point here. All I'm saying is $40 wager against a game maybe working on a system makes no sense. Oh, you got a key. When you can buy the same game on another console and know that it's going to work.
Congratulations.
That's all I'm getting at. There is a risk involved, and you can, that's facts. That's facts. Let's get into facts. Popeye and the Burger King. Double J Jason Joseph is here. Welcome, Jason. Yes, override it. My goodness. Me pappy. How long the saves took. Gives you time to Take a sip of your drink and do your thing. Never been a day one guy. You're smarter not to be. I mean, if I wasn't doing the tube thing, I probably wouldn't be either. You got to jump on this stuff when it's hot and cover the breaking news and the, you know, the fresh action, and that's what I try to do here. But look around me. I don't need games, dude. We ain't hurting for games here. And all these games, God, the price drops are so much more aggressive in the market today. It seems like games become worth nothing so quickly. And even if they don't physically, you get into these digital... Oh, where are we now? You get these digital deals, man. Something tells me we have no reason to be in this area. These digital deals. I mean, most of the stuff in PSN sales, I'll buy a game complete for $4 and sell a vanilla game for $10 and get free or paid to upgrade, you know. Wild Boy says, I have such a backlog of old games. Dude, tell it. It's ridiculous, and it keeps getting added to it. Division 2 is great. It is a giant DLC for $60. That's the only reason I don't need it right now. I need to finish Division 1's full campaign before I even try to mess with that. That's the only reason I didn't try to get in on that. Plus, we didn't have much of a response to the beta stream, so I was like, we'll wait on that then. If that's not that hot. I do want it, but I certainly don't need it right now. Yeah, even if it was Adventures of Bayou Billy Racing, that would be, if it had these mechanics and it worked well and had any kind of franchise name at all, I'd be in. I mean, All-Star Free Racing didn't. That wasn't a franchise. Even that didn't have a franchise. That wasn't even a thing. Although, okay, let's back up. I don't want to act like I don't know what I'm talking about here. It was a thing. All-Star games were a thing. If you remember the Wii games, the kind of games that your grandma buys you for Christmas, All-Star games were a thing, but they weren't racers. There was All-Star Karate. There was All-Star Cheerleading. They were just really cheesy shovelware games. So All-Star Fruit Racing was a kart racer in the All-Star bloodline. Some of y'all may not have known that, but that's what that was. But still, that's not like Crash Bandicoot or something, or Popeye or Burger King. But still, it was a kart racer, so I'm like, let's try it. And the physics were good. You remember with Hello Kitty Cruisers, or maybe you don't remember, that the mechanics were absolute trash. I mean, just absolute horse trash. Rhinoceros diarrhea. Worst racing game I've probably ever played. And it's a shame, because it's a cute game. It's got all the Hello Kitty characters that my daughter loves. She was such a big Hello Kitty head the first years of her life, and was into the DS games, and it was a cute game. You know, we picked it up for $20 day one. Who knew it would eventually be worth $150? And then I bought it for $7 digital to replace it, and then I made my $150. Mortal Kart Bat's coming out. A Mortal Kombat kart racer. Well, we've had Star Wars kart racers. We've had crazy kart racers. Man, I'm just saying, if they're functional, they're great. I'm into it, and I've got kart racing fever right now. You know, Smash JT made a point too on my previous video. He's like, man, I don't have time enough to play Mario Kart, much less get this, and then it be, you know, an inferior experience, which by the numbers it almost has to be, because again, at the end of the day, it's Crash and it's not Mario, okay? And Mario Kart 8 is obviously a triumph of a game. But I'm still interested in this. I've played a lot of Mario Kart 8, you know, just because I don't have time to really wail on it now. I played that game backwards and forwards, literally, all of it, on the Wii U. So when they ported it over, I gotta say I wasn't very excited about that, even though, oh, it's deluxe. It's like, well, God, that just means there's another CC on it and more stuff I gotta redo. So, honestly, I just wasn't really that excited about it. Just like I haven't been excited for most of the ports. I don't want to buy those games again. There's very little advantage to doing that. They throw you a bone here and there, but it's not a very big bone. Mortal Kombat had a kart racer in either Deception or Armageddon. I was not aware of that, and I've had more copies of that than I can count with my shoes off come through this place. So you're gonna make me go look something up. Maybe I should have kept one of those. Vader demands the return of Ragged or Redeem It. Well, hopefully we won't be doing it on this game. Hopefully we're going to get what we pay for and we're going to really like it. But Ragged or Redeem It was a thing where there were games I was just honestly confused on. Is this bad or is it good? Everything's been pretty much right down the middle as a call here lately. Most of what we've been getting to review has been pretty good. I kind of want to retry that. I didn't do very well. It had Mortal Kombat Tetris and chess in that same game. That sounds like something you have a dream about and then you wake up and you're like, oh, that wasn't real. That's interesting. We had some good Ragged or Redeemits though. Lichdom Battle Mage we looked at. Arcania was absolutely terrible. Yet I almost wanted a third look at that, and I still kind of do. But God, what a terrible game. And something else. Oh yeah, 7 Days to Die. Terrible. Terrible. Beyond terrible. And the Dwarves, we had a Rag or Redeem It. And people came for me and were calling me all kinds of things. And it's like, I am sorry. If you think this is good, I cannot help you. Yard Sale Findings hasn't gone away, but it's vintage game hunting now. It's been rebranded. It needed a new name because nobody was watching Yard Sale Findings. So, same show, just going to be completely renamed so that it's searchable. I'm going to go out hunting again within these next couple weekends, and we're going to start back in the field with that. We got some new equipment. We'll be able to make a much better show than it used to be. Of course, we're going to come right back here, look at what we got, look at the prices, look at the values, all the same stuff that we always used to do, but I like to think of it as Yard Sale Findings on steroids. It's going to be a lot better. I didn't hate Final Fantasy VIII. But it's not 7. And there's a lot of people that think it's better than 7. I am not one of those people. It was broken in a few areas. But we don't have to get into that. But yeah, there were some issues. Not perfect. I want first place in this, dadgummit. Final lap, we're taking it. Okay, so I did that, hit them both. He's still ahead of me, and I get the rocket out of the three of us. Because that makes sense. You better give me a good item. Oh. Seriously?
Like taking candy from a baby.
You better make it across that. Big nitrous up the hill. And we won. I get the medal. Yeah, I cried at the end of 7. Not embarrassed to admit it. It was like a 30-minute ending. It was probably the most epic ending to a game I've ever seen. Those are good numbers. I had consistently better laps each time. An NES Kart Repro. Those are very cool. Look at Crash. He's so excited. What is he doing? Settle down, Crash. Well, we went over everything we had to go over. I think I made my point. You know, most of the people watching the recap of this are just going to catch the first 10 minutes if we're lucky. Probably the first 5, but we made our interesting points. Buster Sword versus Magic. Yeah, there's no comparison there. I'm not going to give Final Fantasy any kudos over Zelda. It just doesn't get that. As great as Final Fantasy was, we're talking about its contribution to role-playing as a whole. We're talking about the very first one. A lot of people would argue with me on that, but that's where I'm at with it.
Make a slide boost combo,
regardless of what Zelda gets branded as a genre today, it brought heat to the RPG genre as a whole. So we have it to thank for that. So gotta go with the Master Sword. CM Retro Gaming is here. Welcome, CM. Now let's see what else we can do in this crazy world. But yeah, we've touched on why the nitrous oxide digital is what I desire done. It just makes sense all around. Yes, it's more money, but it's not that much more money. And the real interesting thing is what all we're going to get as it comes out. And I intend to cover all that, keep coverage going on this game as it goes. John Rogers says, so Division 2 had a day 1 patch and the game is still fairly broken. I'm surprised at that. I will say Division was a little broken at first, with where everybody was like bumping into each other at the missions. You had to like wait in line when you're supposed to just be able to pass through each other like an MMO. Other than that, there weren't really any issues with Division that I had. You'd think, too, they would have had it nailed. Retro in the his house. Nostalgia feels so good with old games. Those worlds were so real as a kid. They were. I mean, even text-based adventure games when I was a kid, and it was all up here, you know. I can tell you very vividly what they looked like, you know. Oh, this is a tough one. I've played this one. Alright, Crash, here we go. Yeet, Crash. A missile. We'll run it up. Put him in the wall. I do want to play some more Mario Kart 8. I haven't had the time to properly... Oh, I should have remembered that was coming. To properly regain all my stuff and do the 200cc too. I had pretty much 100%ed the Wii U version. And at one point, had some really good times on the worldwide online leaderboard. At least when the game had first come out. Eventually all the cheaters came in and did their thing. And let's touch on what we said earlier on, or I didn't say it. One of y'all in the comments said, I can't remember which one of you said it now, but yeah, the anti-gravity on here, man. Nintendo acted like they invented that stuff, and it's in this game. The exact literal thing we're talking about, so. It just lets you know Crash is here. Crash may be bringing some heat, and with current gen, we have no idea what CTR is going to be capable of. Now, granted, this is Nitro Kart we're playing here. There are other Crash racing games that we're going to need to look at, too, prior to the launch of this remake. But it also raises another question that I forgot to touch on. And that I want to touch on. Being as this is somewhat of a live Murcast mixed with a live stream. If it does well, and I think it might, are we going to be looking at remakes for some of the other Crash games of the past, the racing games? Or are we just going to see maybe content from some of those games get added in? What could we see there? Could we see an entire new Crash racing game altogether? Not a remake. That's almost what they're kind of, they're trying to coin this one as when you get right down to it. With the addition of more, characters, content, whatever they give us for the price point, for the price of admission. But yeah. Oh my god, that did not get thrown right, and that about ended badly. Okay, it's the final lap and we're in 5th. This can't happen. I need an item and we need to get serious. Of course, that didn't hit anyone. Oh, that was a game-ending boof. I'm jumping. I can only jump so much. Oh. Back in 5th. I'll catch up on the chat in a minute, but my god, this is not ending well. Somebody eat that. Yeet, RoboCop. Well, needless to say, we're retrying that. That was not good. Here we go. Let's get up in the midst of all this and then fire off this special item here. I'm not ready to use it. Why am I an 8th? Get up there, Crash, you slow sack of rhinoceros diarrhea. Forget this. We need some other items. Really? Followed me all the way up there, did you? Get up there. Big boost. Big boost right into a wall. Waronkadonk! I'm getting hooked up with the nitros here, but we gotta make it do something. I don't have enough apples. Picked up your apples. Get out of my way, fool. You crazy fool. Oh yeah, here we go. Passing some fools on the inside. Final lap. Catch up on the chat in a minute. Gotta get serious. Here we go. Roaming Dan is joining us on Roaming Dan. Come on. Give me something good. Oh, of course. I'll say that better have hit that fool. We're in first, but can we hold it? We did it. We did it. First place. That was an abysmal first lap. Got better. Got better, but that was abysmal. First lap. So, to recap, before we're out of time here, because we looked at some Nitro Kart, we've had a pretty good time with it. I enjoy looking at this with you tonight. And there's much more Crash racing to look at. Obviously, the original CTR, there's the second Nitro Kart, we got tag team racing. We got games that I've had so many times in the past, now I got to scramble to go pick up. But you know what? It'll be fun if we find some of those in the wild before I actually get to streaming all those, and we'll just look at them. So we'll be talking about all of the aforementioned onward and up to the release of the Crash Team Racing remake. We're going to have so much fun with that. Again, the topic at hand was why Nitrous Oxide Digital makes all the sense in the world, especially for me wanting to bring this to you as early as possible. The midnight launch we're going to do. These retailers don't do midnight launches anymore, and that's a shame. That's another reason that digital starts to make sense. There's one more point we can make before we go. These retailers, and I don't know how it is where some of you guys are, if some of them are still messing with it, but all right, we got a trophy. They're not doing midnights anymore. Best Buy fooled with it for a little bit around here, trying to you know, match up with our GameStop, and eventually they just quit. They didn't want to have the money and the hours of the people doing it, and GameStop eventually quit too. And it's just a shame. I loved midnight releases. They were so much fun. Even working them was fun. Just the energy in the air. Everyone hyped about their game, and yeah, especially when it was something that was multiplayer that you were ready to get home and get going on. So cool. So cool. But, yeah, you don't have that option anymore. So, do I want to wait and do this the night of launch? Or do I want to do this midnight when it goes live? And that's what I want to do. Wild Boy says, GameStop by me changed midnight to 9 p.m. Some of those, they can't do that, though. They do on some games that the publisher gives them the go-ahead to go ahead and do it. But if it's street dated, that unfortunately doesn't have anything to do with them. And it's something you got to watch out for too, because sometimes there's still stream, restrictions on some of those games until they're officially out at midnight. So it's all stuff you really got to worry about, and it's stuff you really shouldn't have to worry about. So kind of a pain in the bahonkus. But yeah, all those reasons and more. I'm going NITROS OXIDE Digital so I can bring this game to you midnight at launch on launch day. We're going to be looking at Sonic Racing 2 and some information about that, maybe a Murcast, definitely a live stream of Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed, featuring myself, Captain Retro, and Dat Game Collector, as we talked about. That's something that we've had planned for a long time, but makes all the sense in the world if we're getting close to a release of all these great new kart racers. Going to be a really cool year for kart racers here. I hope you share in that hope. If you're watching the recap, let me know in the comment section everything you think about what we talked about tonight. Are you going to buy this game? What do you think about this game? Are you ready for Crash Team Racing when it comes out? Do you already have this game? You played Nitro Kart before? Do you enjoyed all the other Crash games that have come out in the past? Let me know what you think about it, because you know that I love getting a conversation going with you right here on the Emceemur Show, something that we do a lot of. I hope you can leave a like on this video, and I hope most importantly, if you have not already done so, you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show, be a part of our nation, we're rising up all the fantastic things that we have going on right here on the show. You need to be a part of it. Make sure that you smack that notification bell so you're always the first to know when new content goes live. That's a mouthful. It was a good time. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. Had a great time, guys. Always have a great time talking with you, and really just wanted to bounce these ideas off you tonight, and I think we did just that. Had a great talk. Next Tuesday, we'll be looking at the Princess Guide. That'll launch. I'm not sure if we're going to do a midnight on that. It's possible. We'll see. I kind of want to do it, but we'll definitely be doing a Tuesday night live stream of it. Should have NIS in the house too to answer some Q&A. A lot of great stuff coming out from them that we have talked about in the past streams, and that we'll continue to talk about onward and upward to the release of those games. So great stuff coming. Yeet, Crash Bandicoot, Emceemur signing off for tonight, and I will see each and every one of you again next time.